Today on the podcast, we have Guro Reiten, attacker for Chelsea and the Norwegian national team. Guro has notched over 150 appearances for Chelsea over the past 5 seasons. Since joining the club in 2019, Chelsea have won the league every season Guro has been there. Guro is a versatile, technically skilled attacker who can score and assist with ease. Guro, I'm so excited to be speaking with you today. Thanks for joining me.
That was nice. I like that
I'm
intro.
so nice. Okay, Guro, I know that you grew up in the village of Nordmore in Norway, and it's actually the
What
same
did you
area
call
that
it?
Nordmore? Is that not it?
This is a great start. No, no. My village is called Sunndalsøra. You can try and say that.
What's Nordmore?
Nordmøre, sort of the what's it called? It's like the area,
Like
but
the region.
yes,
And
Nordmøre. Sorry, I didn't understand what you said.
Oh my God, so that is the right area.
Well, yeah, but it's not my town, no.
What's
Or
your town
village or
called
whatever.
again?
Sunndalsøra.
So is this true? Is this the area that Ada and Andreen Hagerberg are also from?
Yeah, we grew up in the same small village.
So is the village like a footballing hotbed, or is it just coincidence that you've all risen to this professional level at the same time?
It was. I mean, Ada is 1 year younger. Andrine is 1 year older. We actually never played on the same team. They normally played with boys, and I played with girls or girls that were younger than me. But when we grew up, football was big. Like literally every single one played football. At that age, I don't think any one of us was dreaming about becoming a football player. We just wanted to hang out with our friends, and luckily for us, we just wanted to play football.
So another thing I heard is that your mom played top flight football in Norway, and then she coached you for a number of years. She coached you to play multiple positions, and you said that she was like a pretty tough critic. And I read that you used to tell Emma Hayes when she was manager at Chelsea some of the feedback that your mom would give you. And Emma would say, you should listen to your mom. So I want to hear all about your mom coaching you. And then I want to know who was a tougher coach, your mom or Emma?
My mom. 100%. Now, at the end, Emma was like, what did your mom say? Yeah, just listen to her. I was like, okay. Now, yeah, she was a pretty good footballer when she was younger. And then obviously she got me and my brother. My brother did not enjoy football as much as me, so he was kind of the mascot. So in every team photo, it's like me playing and then my mom and my brother, little brother, as a mascot. It's so cute.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, so she's really tough. And when you're a kid, like you have to play in every position. She put me in goal, she put me on that side, defending, everything. She was really good. She's shy though, so every time I mention her or someone asks me about her, she's like, you don't need to talk about me because that's not right. And I'm like, yeah, it is, but have some confidence.
Do you feel like you learned a lot from having her as your coach? Like, was she a really good coach?
She was good, and I feel like I've been really lucky with all my coaches because I've had different ones as well, and they have all learned me something. When I was younger, I was kind I wouldn't say angry, but like even if I was 10 and someone said, you played good today, and I was not happy, I would be like, don't talk to me because I don't want to hear that. I want to hear the real stuff. What do I need to do to get better?
Wow.
Which is crazy. Yeah, I even have in my, because I wrote diaries when I was younger, and I had one, and it was like, I scored 7 goals and had 2 assists, but I'm not happy. And I was like, whoa, calm down. Yeah.
That is so interesting. That kind of reminds me of myself. I wonder too if you're still like this today, which I'm going to ask in a second. But I remember being like, I must have been 7, and my dad was driving me home from 7-year-old soccer. And I was crying because my dad had said at one point in the game, like, you have to stop scoring. Like, it's not fun for anybody else. Like, it's this girl, the goalkeeper on the other team kept putting the ball down thinking it was a goal kick, and it wasn't. And she didn't. And so I would just run up and kick it in. And I was like, Dad, it's not my fault that she doesn't know. Like, I'm going to just keep scoring. And so I just wanted to play the best I could and score all these goals. And I had also had such a high standard and expectation for myself. Guro, are you still like that? Even if you, let's say, score 4 goals, could you still be unhappy with your performance?
Yeah, I still remember the bad cross that I had, not the goals that I scored. Always been like that. It's I think sometimes you're your biggest enemy because sometimes you just gotta like, all right, that was good. Come on,
Yeah.
move on. But yeah, I'm very, very hard on myself.
Do you think that's part of why you've had such success?
100%.
Yeah.
It's the reason why I'm here. Honestly, like, yeah, sometimes I should be nicer to myself, but at the same time, my standards is so high. The pressure that I put on myself is nothing compared to anyone. Like, I don't want to miss on a single pass or anything. So it's like when I do, I'm fuming at myself, and it drives me.
Yeah, I definitely relate to that. I always loved playing with players like that too. Like, you never had to say anything to them because they knew. Whereas I think sometimes players who are like, oh well, it's fine. You're like, that would make me be like, ah.
Yeah, I know. Everyone in our team knows my Norwegian cursing. Like they know the words because oh, she's angry at herself
Can you
again.
can you share one with us?
That's not nice.
No, it's not nice. It's not nice. Okay, okay. So speaking of Norway, I want to talk about your national team. At the 2019 World Cup, you played in all 5 of Norway's matches. You scored Norway's opening goal of the tournament against Nigeria. And I remember that 2019 was my first World Cup. I scored my first World Cup goal there. And it was very much this like, it was a big moment for me of accomplishment, feeling like I had really reached the pinnacle of the sport. So I'm wondering, how did those moments, making a World Cup roster for the first time, scoring your first World Cup goal, how did those moments feel for you?
No, that's unbelievable. I still remember the goal. I remember the set piece, the corner, the assist from Guro, the goal, and then just all the emotions and feelings. But for us, the previous year we played the Euros, and it was a disaster. Yeah, it wasn't good. So we used a year to kind of build up towards that World Cup. And when we started with that goal, we were like flying. All right, this is it. Let's go. So yeah, it's a moment that I will never forget for sure.
Yeah. Do you remember, you said you remember the corner, the cross, and then what did you do after when the ball went in?
It was like a small cutback, a short
Okay.
corner, Mikaro cutback goal.
And then what? Like, what did you feel and how did you celebrate?
No, I just turned around and screamed and my normal celebration. I don't have any. It's just passion. You just want to scream as loud as you can.
Yeah, I know. I miss that. It's so fun to score a
It's the
goal.
feeling, right?
Oh, it's just the best. So historically, Norway have had a really great program. Norway won the World Cup in 1995. They won gold at the Olympics in 2000. But as of late, your team hasn't had that same kind of success winning major world tournaments. I know there have been lots of conversations around needing more investment over recent years, but I'm curious from your perspective, how can your federation help your team win major tournaments again, including this upcoming Euros that you're trying to qualify for?
Yeah, it's hard that because we get compared to what happened 20 years ago when Norway won Olympics in 2000. It's like we still hear about it, but it's 24 years ago. And so much has happened in the women's game. The big teams, the investments, everything that's just put into the game just raised the standards in every way possible. And yes, we have great players in big clubs all over Europe, but at the same time, we're also Norway. We're a small country. We don't have many to pick from. And I think it needs to start with like the league. The league needs to improve. And how do you do that? Because it's very difficult. Don't have the same money as the Premier League has, for example.
Right.
But yeah, I don't like to talk about money, but everything starts there, right?
Yeah, I know. Investment from the clubs to improve the domestic league will result in improving the selection for the national team.
The players who play in the Norwegian league, some of them has to study or work on the side that does something to your recovery, to the quality of training, and like it just needs to get better. Needs to be higher standards.
Yeah, your team has a qualifying playoff against Albania coming up in the next international window. And I think my question is, you mentioned yourself, you're playing at a top club in Europe. You have some Norwegian teammates who are doing the same. With your club experience, what do you think you bring to your Norway squad that's unique that can help Norway continue or grow their success on the world stage?
The big question. Nah, we have quality players, but national team is so different from club. Like you have only 10 days together, you barely train, you play a few games, and you have to get the best out of everyone who's in the squad and who's in the starting team or coming off the bench. Like it takes time, and
Yeah.
I feel like we haven't quite figured each other out yet, like how to get the best out of everyone. Like we've
Uh-huh.
changed managers a couple of times the last few years, changed formation. Some used to play out there, now she's central. Like we haven't like figured it out.
Yeah.
And hopefully we got a new manager now. She's been with us for a few camps. Really like her. Come in with like a lot of energy and new ideas, and hopefully this is the start of something. And I think even though we did not qualify directly to the Euros, it was a step in the good direction because we played some good teams. And yeah, we have a year left to prepare and to qualify because obviously, like we have Albania first. Don't like to talk about the Euros when you're not even qualified. You have to win those games first.
Mm-hmm.
But if we don't win, then we don't deserve to be there. So we just got to use the opportunity to
Yeah.
grow as a team.
Yeah. All those meaningful games, the qualifying games, are such a great opportunity to get those reps together under a new manager, figure out your playing style together. So hopefully you can qualify for the Euros. That would be so exciting. I would love to watch you play there. I want to come back to Chelsea. So I mentioned this in the intro, Guro, but since you signed for Chelsea in 2019, Chelsea's won the league every single season. Chelsea has won so many trophies over these last years. I want to know what's been the highlight of your Chelsea career to this point.
Ooh. There's been a few. Uh, the league's so tight, so it's like every year we won. Almost every year we won in the last game. Last year it was goal difference. It's been some ridiculous ones, as the COVID year, for example. Like I was hiking somewhere up north in Norway, and Emma called on teams with a champagne glass and like, we won the league, and I'm like, yay, did we?
Yay.
So it's like that's never going to happen again, but it was just weird. And then you have like last season when we won it at Old Trafford against United. Everyone had wrote us off, and we come back and did that, and it was unbelievable. So I think maybe last year's game was yeah, that felt good.
Yeah, I'm going to get to that run at the end of the season and how much influence you had on Chelsea winning and goal differential in just a second. You mentioned the COVID year, and I know that after in 2021, 2022, you had a more difficult season. There were these lingering restrictions. You couldn't see your family. You were dealing with some injuries. But I also know that you were so committed to giving your all in whatever role that you could. And I want to hear about that mindset of having to accept that you might not be like playing 90 minutes every game. You might not actually be 100% physically, but how do you then adapt and you bring whatever you can each and every day to your team?
Football is always going to be a team sport. And for me, the team is the most important thing. So yeah, it's hard to accept that your job is going to be sitting on the bench like it was for me that year. I remember it. I was struggling with my back. My fitness wasn't great, and I had the conversation with Emma where I literally said like, I know I'm not going to start, but I'm going to give you the 15 best minutes that I have in me every single time. Because like, I don't know, you just got to turn everything around and like, okay, need to be there, back up the girls in training. We push each other. We need every single one. If you want to win something at the end of the season, everyone is going to be important. You play this game, someone else might play the next game. Everyone needs to be ready when they are called up. Like that's just how it goes. Especially with the amount of games we're playing right now, and injuries are part of the game, so you never know what's going to happen. So everyone actually needs to be ready.
This is really interesting to me. I was actually just talking to Allie Riley, who plays for Angel City, and she said she's dealing with an injury, and she said she's trying to tell her teammates all the time, even if you're not starting, even if you're not playing, you matter so much to the team, and what you can contribute is so important. And now that she's on that side of it, she's like, I have to listen to my own advice. I have to have like actually believe those words about myself too, that I can still play a really important role. And I thought that was like a really important thing to realize, that when you are starting, now you know how it feels for the players who aren't starting, and you can still encourage them that their role is really important.
It's part of the game. That's why we're on a team. Like these girls, yeah, you train together, you play together, but we spend almost every single minute of a day together. So you get to know each other in good and bad times, and you just want everyone to be happy and to get the best out of each other.
Yeah. And that's when you win, I think, too, is when you have that kind of camaraderie and everybody has the same understanding. I want to ask about your Chelsea teammate, Sam Kerr. You guys are one of the most dangerous duos in football during the 2022-2023 season. You and Sam together contributed 67 goals and assists across all competitions for Chelsea. You've called Sam the best striker in the world. You said, if Sam's not scoring goals, I'm not looking at her, I'm looking at me. What am I not doing right? So, Guro, I want to know, what is it like to play with Sam? She's such a lethal striker. What's it like for you to know if you get her the ball, she's going to score?
It's amazing. Sam's a character, obviously, you know her. She's funny. We are very different, but at the same time, we love hanging out. We love having fun. And, when I get the ball on the left side, I know it's just to put the ball in that area because Sam is going to be there and it's going to be a goal. And like you said, like, if she's not scoring, I'm not doing that I'm doing something wrong because she's always there. And for me, Sam is, yeah, the easy goals. Everyone can score them. But for me, Sam is one of them who actually steps up when the team needs it the most and score the most ridiculous goals you've ever seen. But it's like, yeah, it's just what Sam does.
I know. I've only played against Sam, and I know that she can just score in the most annoying moments. Do you think that your friendship is partly what makes your relationship on the field so strong?
Maybe. I mean, I've always said, like, on the pitch, we are each other's person. So every time, because obviously we struggle too in games, and things are not coming off, and there's hectic moments, and everyone is stressing. We look at each other like, okay, calm down. We got this. Just need the ball. We just need one chance. So yeah, maybe, but I don't know. We just love to have fun. And fun for us is winning, so
Yeah, it sounds like you're on the same page when it comes to that. So you mentioned this a minute ago, but in your run up to the league title last season, the 2023-24 season, you guys were in this goal differential points race through the last couple games of the season, and you needed all these goals. You scored 4 goals in an 8-0 win against Bristol City, putting Chelsea 1 goal ahead of Man City on goal difference with 2 games to go. Then on the final day of the season, like you mentioned, at Old Trafford, you beat Manchester United 6-0, and you provided 2 assists, which solidified Chelsea's 5th successive WSL title. Guro, what would you say about being able to step up in those moments when your team needs you the most? Like, knowing that it was so tight, you needed a bunch of goals, you score 4 goals, you get 2 assists. How do you deal with pressure?
So the run-up last year, like, we played Liverpool away. We lost. And everyone thought we were out.
Yeah.
Even Emma said something in the press, and we were like, no, we're not. It's not over.
Yeah.
It's not over. And then that game came, and we were literally sitting home watching Arsenal play. And when they gave us that opportunity, there was no chance we were going to give it away again. It's hard. You don't think about the consequences. You just think about what you can win. So when we went out there, it was like there was just one thing on our mind, and that was goal. Every time someone scored, we grabbed the ball and we ran back because we wanted more. And it was an unbelievable day, an unbelievable feeling. And I think every single one in our team, if you played, if you didn't play, everyone was on the same page. And yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Was scoring 4 goals, like, did you recognize your contribution was so big?
No, because it didn't matter. Like we barely celebrate the goals because we
Yeah.
had to get back and get another one. So, but last season for me wasn't the best one. I was injured half the season, came back, struggled a bit, wasn't really feeling like myself, and then towards the end, I felt like okay, it was nice that I could contribute in this way. But yeah, it's always going to be the team and the team effort. So every single one put in a lot of work to achieve that. And yeah, the last game at Old Trafford as well. Everyone was like, "Oh, it's going to be a tight one." We thought
Yeah.
it was going to be a tight one, and then we scored after 1 minute.
I know. And then it just got so out of hand. I remember watching, like, oh my gosh, what is happening? You guys went on, you won the league title. That was Emma's last title with Chelsea before going to the US women's national team. Now you have a new coach for the first time in your Chelsea career with Sonia Bompastor, who has taken over for Emma Hayes. And change can obviously be difficult, but it's also such a great opportunity to grow. I spoke with some of you at the live show in New York a few weeks ago. And I want to know, in the interim time, what have you noticed about Sonia's coaching that excites you? Has it been an easy transition for your team?
Yeah, Emma's been here 12 years, something like that. And my time at Chelsea, I've only known with Emma. So, of course, it was going to be different. But, like you said, different can be good. It's a new opportunity, a fresh start for every single one. I think Sonia's come in with a lot of energy, new ideas, demanding so much of every single one. The intensity we've been training at has been really, really high. And yeah, it's just good to get something new, because hopefully that's what's going to push us to the next level.
I know. Well, that's actually my next question. I think the next level, the only thing that has eluded Chelsea is Champions League. And now you've brought this Champions League winning coach to try to rectify that. I'm curious, you've won the league every single year, which is so much to celebrate. But I'm curious if Champions League feels elusive to you and the team. Like, you've won tons of other trophies, but do you think about Champions League a lot as the thing that you're, like, reaching for?
We think about every trophy. We want to win every trophy every year. Um, but yeah, obviously we're missing that Champions League one, and it would be amazing if we could achieve that. But it requires so much of every single one, and we know that we have to put the effort and hard work in every single day for that to even be possible. So one day at a time. That's the nice thing about being a footballer, is you have to be here now, because what happened yesterday and what's going to happen tomorrow doesn't really matter. It's here now. But yeah, it would be amazing. But I think our focus is to win every single game, and Sonia's been very clear on that. Let me tell you.
Well, the season is just kicking off. What are you most looking forward to with Chelsea in this upcoming WSL season?
Like we know that what we did last year, isn't going to be good enough this season. So we need to be better. We've brought in a lot of new staff, a lot of new players. Hopefully they can help us achieve more. I want to see, like, the reason why I play football is because I love it. It's fun. It's the passion. And I want to see everyone enjoy themselves out there, and yeah, winning obviously, but try to get the best out of each other and, like, push for more. Always want more.
That's incredible. I want to be on your team. I only have 2 more questions for you. We've heard a lot of controversy about Chelsea's musical stylings on the team bus. So, Guro, I hear that everybody assumes that you only listen to the Mamma Mia soundtrack, and I need to know what this is about, and I need to know what kind of music you really like.
Yeah, I don't know. It's every time they ask any of us, like the Scandies, they're like, "Oh no, they just listen to Mamma Mia," and we're like, "No, we never. It's actually you guys who put that song on, and you guys singing and dancing to that song. It's not us." So I don't
Like
know
that,
where
like
that
the
came
song
from.
Mamma Mia, here I go,
Here
or
we
like the
go
Mamma
again.
Mia, like
No,
ABBA.
that song, Abba, yeah, Mamma
Okay,
Mia, here we go again.
and
Yeah,
you're
that
like,
song.
I don't listen to that.
No, they even went to the show. as a team thing, and I was like, I didn't suggest that. You guys did because you wanted to go. So they secretly they love it. But yeah, no, I I don't my music taste is a bit of everything. When you're in the dressing room, it's so loud. So when I
Mm-hmm.
get home, I like to chill. So
Yeah.
it's a bit more like quiet, chill, maybe
Yeah.
some Norwegian music. So, but I like a bit of everything. I love country. Taylor Swift.
Oh. Oh my gosh, I love Taylor Swift. Did you get to see her concert?
No, I didn't actually go, but maybe one time I
Yes,
will.
maybe soon. Maybe soon. I hope for you. I did go. It was a while ago now, but it was so much fun.
Are you a Swiftie?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big time. Big time. My last question for you. I heard that you love to paint. And I'm so
Yeah.
interested in this. I want to know like what do you paint and is do you kind of use painting as like an escape from football? Like why do you love it so much?
This is something I've always like been doing from time to time, and then during COVID we spent so much time alone, so it kind of became my new hobby. And I actually finished painting yesterday. But yeah, no, I don't know. It's just focusing on that one thing, just the painting, not any worries or issues or stress in your life. You just
Mhm.
all focused on that, and doesn't require much. And also, I think, art, what is art? It depends on who's looking at it. So some might like it, some don't. Doesn't really matter. No one's going to judge me for my paintings anyway, because I like them. And
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just
What do you
nice.
paint?
Everything and anything. That's a bad answer.
Like stuff around the house or abstract or landscape?
Everything.
Wow.
Yesterday was a skiing sort of thing with like texture paste, I think, like making the yeah. So
That is
I
so
like to try
cool.
new things and be creative and try. And if I see something on TikTok, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get that and try with letters
Wow.
coming out. And then it's fun.
That's so cool. I would love to see what you paint sometime.
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay. Well, that's all I
Maybe.
have for you, Guro. This was so much fun. I loved hanging out with you. I'm so glad we could have you on here. So good luck with Chelsea in the first part of this season.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much for listening. Guro is so sweet, and it was really fun to chat with her. I can just picture her now, listening to the Mamma Mia soundtrack in her apartment, painting a beautiful landscape. I would just love to be a part of that. Guro was so great, and I'm excited to watch her this season with Chelsea. Next week, we'll have an episode of Good Vibes with Becky Sauerbrunn. Oh my gosh, Becky, we have missed you. I'm excited to have you back. Dropping on Tuesday, followed by a really great interview with Georgia Stanway dropping on Thursday. Georgia was a co-host with me during some of our Olympics coverage this past summer. Since she plays at Bayern Munich, she helped us prepare for the US to play Germany. It was so fun to have her back on our Friendlies show and talk more about her career and our time together at Man City. We definitely had some laughs in this interview, so make sure you tune in for that episode next week. Meanwhile, please follow TWG on social media at Women's Game MIB on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Threads. You should also subscribe to our newsletter at the link tree in our social media bios. It's such a great resource for all things women's football, and it gets delivered to your inbox every Monday. Thank you all so much for being here. We'll see you soon.